Hey, April here with Bliss Evolution. We've been seeing in the news lately that some places like California and New York have banned employers being able to ask about your current or former salary. They're making it illegal for employers to ask on applications or during interviews, so how much do you make? So what's the big deal about this? Well, let's say you took a job just to gain experience. And you took that job at a lower salary than you know and the employer both know you should be making, but you wanted to gain experience, so you thought, I'll just take this job for a little while, learn the ropes, and then look for something new. Now it's time to apply for other jobs. In most of the other states here in the US, and states like Florida, the one that I live in, employers can still ask about salary. And so what does that mean for the applicant? That means that you've applied, you're stating your current salary, and you're letting the employer know that you're vastly underpaid. So now they have a couple of questions. They're going to wonder, why did you take that job at such a low rate if you're really good at it? Maybe there's something wrong with you. They're also going to think, well, if they considered that as a decent enough salary to live on, we know that they'd be happy maybe if we split the difference between that and what we usually offer people. So they might decide to offer you still less than the market value for the position. So it really does create a problem for you. How do you get up to a wage that's commensurate with what people in your field should be making based on the work that they're contributing to the organization? Research shows that people who start working in a down economy or a recession economy make less over the course of a lifetime because their starting salary was a certain level, and each time they get promoted or each time they get a raise, it's based on that starting salary. What we're also seeing in the world of work today is that it's much more seldom that somebody is actually promoted or given a raise from within the organization. It's much more likely that if you want to make a larger pay increase, that you'll have to look outside of your current organization for work. So what do you do about it? Maybe you live in a state like I do that still allows employers to ask about your current or past salary. Here's what you should do to keep the conversation tactful, but also to turn it in your favor. On the application, it's easy. Just put negotiable. Done and done. But it's a little bit more tricky in person. Let's say you're at the end of an interview and they bring up the salary question saying, so, what do you make now? Here's what I recommend saying. Well, the opportunity that we're discussing is a lot different than my current job. There are lots of additional responsibilities and duties. I'm really excited at the prospect of working with you. I've done my research. I know the market value for this position, and I'm willing to entertain all reasonable offers. What does this position pay? So essentially what you've done is you've turned the question around onto them. You're asking them what they're willing to offer, all while being really tactful about it. Let's say they push you. Let's say you say all of that, and they say, well, that's great, but we want to make sure we're in the right range. We'd really like to know what salary we might be talking about. You have a few options here. You can bring out your documentation based on your research on salary.com and glassdoor.com, and you can let them know, hey, this is the going rate. This is what people are paying for this job title in this zip code. You could even go so far as to give them a range of a salary that might be acceptable for you. Or you could take a more hard-lined approach and you could say, I'd be happy to discuss salary with you once a formal offer is made and I'm able to run the numbers. Remember, salary discussions can feel tricky because you can feel like you're opponents with the person that you're talking to. But at the end of the day, you both have the same end goal. You both want you to get hired for this position if you've been given an offer. So remember that you're actually trying to work with this person to come up with a number that's going to suit you best. And the best way to do that is to let them name a number first. If you want to learn more, I'm going to post a couple links next to this video. You can check out another video that I did with some tips in it, as well as a blog post with 6 tips on salary negotiation. So check it out, and good luck!